Apologies for the delay. We will be starting any minute. I'm just sharing the feed. It's the first time I am trying to stream on multiple platforms. So if you just bear with me, in a couple of minutes, we will be starting. Just to let you know that there's actually somebody here. And we are live. Welcome. Let me just, there are my glasses. Oh, my notes. So, hello, beautiful people. I've been looking forward to this. Today I am, I've never really shared before in public. So let me just share one last place because I'm sharing with generally on all my pages and groups and also with my club members. But welcome, good evening. How's everybody? How are you enjoying the Tier 4 magic? It's been a very interesting time today. The queues were back in the shops. We didn't know what to do. I mean, when it comes to Christmas, how Christmassy should your Christmas be? That's the question. So I decided to stream on Facebook mainly, but then I'm sharing it on other platforms so that I can keep an eye on the chat for, if anybody has any questions for what we are going to be talking about today. But welcome. My name is Eme Bassi, founder of the Yellow Pepper Club, creator of the Story Advantage, and generally an all-round coach, marketing person, social media person, and generally a cheerleader and just a helper when it comes to getting seen, getting heard, and getting paid online. And today we are going to be talking about we're actually going to be planning our 2021 marketing. So everybody, whoever you are, whether you're working for somebody or whether you are the owner of the business, or you are the product, you have a product or you have a service, or you have an online course that you're planning to create, or you already have one and you're planning to promote it, this class is for you. So what I'm going to do today is that I'm going to show you the people love stories framework. And then we're now going to create a plan of getting seen, getting heard, and getting paid. I'm going to talk to you about what each of these means. And then it would now be up to you to focus on whichever one, whatever stage your business is in, or whatever your plans are or your goals are for 2021. So today is the 20th, so we have 11 days to the end of the year. And I mean, every single conversation that I've seen online always starts with somebody saying, this has been a challenging year, but this has been a challenging year, but so let's forget about the challengingness of the year. What we need to now think about is like a friend of mine said, 2020 was more about survival than growth. So let's go back into our into growth mode, to start thinking along the lines of how are we going to grow, and then also not just how we're going to grow, but how we're going to make what we're doing tighter. So like really like streamline our efforts so that we are not scattered all over the place, but we actually have a focus of what we are planning to do. So again, I said, my name is Eme Bassi, and I'll be showing you my screen. I'll be writing on the whiteboard there, or well, the flip chart there. And then I will also share a couple of resources with you as well. I planned to make a workbook, but really I think, and I do have something that looks like a workbook, which I was designing in Canva, but really this is not about creating a workbook. This is actually for you to create your own plan. So what I'll ask you to do is to, first of all, grab yourself a notebook and a pen, and I'm going to give you 1 or 2 minutes to do that. Grab yourself a notebook and a pen, and then we'll get started. So like I said, 2 things. I'm going to show you the People Love Stories framework. It's a framework, marketing framework that I've created, which is to help us to simplify our marketing, and then also to give you like an overview of what you should be doing at every point in time. And, once you know what this People Love Stories framework, you'll be able to plan marketing for whatever it is you're doing at whatever point. So whether it is a particular product you're about to launch, you'll be able to tick the boxes, the people that love the stories, and so on. So let me not get ahead of myself. Let us go first of all to let me share my screen. I want to share the framework. Where do I have that? I will also look for our people. Where are we? Okay, just give me a sec. Let's make sure that it's open. Okay. Right. Okay. There's a book I was reading recently. Actually, not a book I was reading, a book I planned to buy. So I had it, and the book is called, I have it in my basket in Amazon. It's called Steal steal like stealing, like thief, steal like an artist, and the people love stories framework actually is something that I stole from somewhere. So I didn't steal people love stories. I was walking by, I was coming from a class. I went for a project management course. And on my way back, I passed by one of those construction sites. And this, the placard or the branding of the building company was homes, homes people love, something like that. Homes people love. So they build homes that people love, or yeah, homes, full stop, people, full stop, love. And I was like, oh, that's clever. Maybe, stories, full stop, people, full stop, love. And really, that is, I've always been a story, it's all about stories. It's all about stories. And it's all, for me, I believe that storytelling is your number one marketing strategy. These days, when I look through, when I'm on Facebook and you see all those adverts come up, even I'm going to even ask you to do the same thing. When you see those adverts come up, take note. Most of the time, they start with a story. Most of the time, there's a story somewhere. There's this guy. Anyway, let me not go too far into that. But there are many. You would see that people are beginning to use stories as a very vital part of, or storytelling as a very vital part of their marketing. So I've always been about stories. So when I saw that homes people love, or people love homes, or something like that, I just said, oh, that's good. Stories people love, or people love stories, you know, and you want to tell stories that people love, and then you also need to know that people love stories. Okay, so I'm should I say I'm proud to say, or I'm ashamed to say? I don't even know what to call it. I'm proud to say, or ashamed, whichever way you want to look at it, to say that I just finished watching Scandal for the second or third or fourth time. I don't know, maybe third time. I watched from season one to the end. You know, I've watched the story before. I followed it when it was going on, and followed it to the bitter end. And then I went back to the beginning and I watched it again. And the main thing about it is obviously because of the stories. So people love stories. So that's the first thing that you need to know. And why stories? People who have, if you've been in any workshop with me, you would know that I would always say that storytelling is one of the best ways to connect with people. And you connect with people not just um, with your mind, but you connect, at a deeper level to the heart. Stories have been around forever, for thousands of years. They've been around. People have communicated with stories. Stories, everybody knows how to hear a story. Everybody knows how to tell a story. You come home from work and your children, you ask your children, how was school today? They will tell you a story. Or your husband asks you, how was your day? Or you ask your husband, how was your day? He tells you a story. So people are wired naturally for stories. It's a way that we are used to receiving information. Now, if we jump to the idea of selling and using stories to sell, one of the main things that storytelling does when you're selling is that storytelling um, bypasses that natural resistance to advertising. You know, advertising, your guard is up. You're like, oh, they're about to sell me something. Oh, they're about to try and convince me to bring out my wallet. But when it's storytelling, people are more open. So they're more open to follow you along the journey of what you're telling them about. So that is why stories. That's just one of the so one of the, the main reasons. But stories attract, stories connect, stories make you relatable, and then stories also make you memorable. I had one of the interviews I had not long ago with Ronke from Story Before Glory, a TV show. So she's the TV show host, and she was telling me, and we were having a chat after the interview, and she said to me, she was just talking about some of her guests, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember that one. Is it not the one that was in prison and then he wrote a book?" You know, I couldn't remember his name, but I remembered the story. And then she mentioned somebody else, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I know that one. You said something this about him, and he did this and he did that." I could remember these stories from a couple of years ago. So that is what stories are. Stories are memorable. Once you tell a story, people remember the story more than they remember if you give them a bunch of facts. So, as they say, facts tell, stories sell. So, that is my argument for storytelling. If you don't trust my argument, just trust me when I say storytelling is what you need to do. Now, the wonderful thing about storytelling when it comes to online marketing is that stories can be used for almost every form of digital marketing. You can use stories on your websites, on your landing pages. You can use stories in your Facebook ads, webinars. You can use stories in Facebook Live. You can use stories in podcasts. You can use stories on your YouTube videos. When you're making a sales letter, when you're writing emails, social media posts, captions, that kind of thing. So again, jumping ahead of myself, but that is the stories side of people love stories. Now, the people side of people love stories. I don't know. Let me increase this so that you can see. Okay, so let me increase that so that you can see. Okay, right. Okay, so I call this people love stories the marketing love triangle. And if you think of a triangle, let me draw it for us on our trusty board. So if you think of a triangle, right, where am I standing? Anyway, so starting from here. So we have love. Love is at the top. Then we have people, and we have stories. So love is at the tip of the triangle, and all three are connected. So you can even say, like this is like an arrow, this is like an arrow. So they go round and round. So people love stories people love. Yeah, I hope that um I hope that makes sense to you. Let me see. So I'm going to change the camera. Actually had another camera, but for my tiny kitchen, it wasn't working. Okay, so you can see my kitchen. You can also see my sieve on the wall and my pot and everything. But anyway, don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to the. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So pay attention to that. So people love stories. Love at the top, stories, people. It's a triangle. One leads to the other, and they all work together. So they all work they all work together. So if you know this, if you know this, if this is, how will I put it now? If you don't know, pick anything, if you don't take anything else from today, if you just know your people, you know that you have to show your love and you know that you have to tell your stories, you have your marketing sorted for 2021 and beyond. Anything that you want to sell, or any business that you're starting, or any service that you are doing. So let's start with people. So people, you have to know your people. Let me come back here. You have to know your people, and you have to find your people. Okay, so you have to know your people, you have to find your people. And I called it the KFCC map. Now, I call the KFCC map because I have been a bit crazy about naming things. Now, that's another thing that I've talked about before, and I'll just say it as an aside, always name things. So this part of my framework is called the KFCC map. So you want to know who they are. So, and that means you also would know their problems, their pains, know who they are in the as deeply as you can. And then you have to find where they are. So that's the F. So you have to find where they are. Now, one of the mistakes that people make when it comes to marketing is that they feel that they have to go and sell to people one at a time. So you have to go and sell to people one at a time, or you have to go and just maybe stand on top of a mountain and shout and get people to pay attention to you. But really, what you need to look at, or what you need to be doing, is to find your people, and you need to find where they're already gathering. So if you say, I have created this notebook, this is what I want to sell, and this notebook is a recipe book. It's for people to write their recipes. Then you now think to yourself, who would need my recipe book? Well, it could be chefs, it could be moms. So all you need to now think of is, where do chefs gather? Okay, it could be chefs in England, or it could be chefs in Nigeria, or it could be moms of young children, because moms of young children, they have the places they gather, physically and online as well. So in the online space, we're talking about like groups. And where do they gather? They read some particular magazines, they read some particular newsletters, they follow the same people. So if you now put yourself in the place of your clients, or your ideal clients, or your prospects, this now makes you know that you are not marketing to everybody, you are not selling to everybody, you are selling to a group of people. So you are selling to your people. Now, many people make this mistake of saying, oh, my product is for everybody. It might be for everybody, but when it comes to the process, or the act, or the actions of marketing, you have to target people. And if you're targeting people, you want to target people that are already congregating. So you want to target pockets of people, groups of people. You want to target people who go to church. You want to target people who shop in Asda, or people who are from a particular country, or a particular language, or a particular culture, And this is one of the things that when you talk about marketing as well, one of the things I would always say to people, like somebody wants to maybe like do a strategic marketing or whatever. One of the things that you need to do is you want to create culture, because your culture includes your values, the things that you are interested in. And when you share those with people, then the people that are your people would be attracted to you. So anyway, again, not going out ahead of myself, but you need to find where they are. So your clients are not everywhere. Your customers are not everyone. Everyone is not your customer, and that is absolutely fine. In fact, that is even better. It's actually better for you. So I'm sure you've heard people say you have to have a niche. So niche could be who they are. Niche could also be what you serve. So your own the specifics of what you are offering. So like my niche, I'm in the marketing niche or in the wealth creation niche. And in the marketing niche, my marketing niche is story driven marketing. So there's other marketing. There's people who do Facebook ads. There's people who do marketing for creating funnels. There's people who do all kinds of things under the marketing umbrella. I'm in the story-driven marketing niche. So you need to also know your niche based on what you offer, as well as your client based on who they are. It could be through their age, it could be through their values, it could be through their hobbies. So you might be like, I'm a bookkeeper I provide bookkeeping services for lawyers in London. That's a niche. And once you own that niche, people would be more likely to to come to you if they have been identified in your niche. So again, we're talking about your people. You need to know your person, know your people. You need to know their problems, their pains. You need to find where they are. You need to call them out. So calling them out is one of the things that you do when you are storytelling. If you are selling something and you say this offer is for moms who have children 6 months and under. I'm a mom. I don't have a child 6 months and under, but I know some moms. In fact, I know some moms who are either they're expecting their first child or they have just had a child, and I might be able to say, oh, this person offers this product for moms who have children that are less than 6 months. You might be interested in what they have to offer. So that is where you call out your clients. There's other ways to call out, and that is where your content and your promotions and everything, you are always calling out your people. So calling out your people in by saying who you are and who you serve, and then calling out your people also by saying who they are, what are their pains, what are their problems, so that they know that they can lift up their hand and say, yes, this is me. I need what you have, or I'm interested in knowing what you have, so calling them out, and then of course connecting with them. So we're here now. So connecting with them. So the first one, and that one you can also do with stories. You connect with them. So, empathize with them. Know that you want to make your client always understand that what they are going through, or that what they need. And it's not so much a case of saying, oh, you need this notebook, or oh, you need this particular thing, but it's also being able to dig deeper into the reason behind the reason, and maybe even the reason behind that reason as well. So anything that you can do to acknowledge them, whether in your promises or the offer, all those things are ways that you can connect with your people. So usually in the online marketing space, one tool that we use very often, and you probably would have heard about it very often, is called an ideal client avatar. I call it dream client profile. and they have similar names, you know, but this is who, this is what you use to actually really dig deep and just drill down to who your ideal client is or who your people are, so that you can then now you can then know how to offer your services or your products to them, or even how to position your services or your products. So your action points for this would be to create an ideal client document for each product or service that you offer. So the ideal client document, I do have one, which if you send me a message, I can send it to you. So by the way, we're going to continue, you know, and I'm just going to take a breath, but we're going to continue. But what I've decided to do is that after anybody who listens to this, you can have a conversation with me. So I'm going to leave a calendar link where you can book a 30-minute strategy call with me, because everybody's story is different. Everybody's market is different. Everybody's plans and goals are different, you know, but if we can, you know, we can talk through, and it'll be good for you to get, if you want, feel like you would like a second, you know, like a second pair of eyes, and, you know, just a second opinion on what you're doing, and where do you start from, and all that kind of thing. I'm going to put that link there so that you can book a call with me. It's completely free, no pressure, nothing to sell, you know, and yeah, we can take it from there. So I was mentioning the ideal client avatar. Now my website is down at the moment. I wonder what's going on. Okay. Okay, I think a bit of a. I'm gonna close you. Okay, so are we still there? Yeah, we're still there. Yeah, my screen froze up for a minute. So I'm just looking. So I want to see who is online, and if you have any questions. Just have a quick look at the chats. Wow. Okay, so any questions? Okay. So I hope this is oh yes. Hi Vivian, hi Timmy. So let's carry on. So let's now go to get seen, get heard, get paid. Like I said, this is the first time I'm teaching it in this way, and I'm very, very happy to do that. I'm going to give you a quick, very, very quick glance at my mind map, and then I will break it down. So, okay, so my gosh, can you see that? Can you see that? So these are like ideas that I've as you learn here and there, you learn here and there, and then when you pick up something and it becomes like another piece of the puzzle, you put it together, and that is what this is. So yeah, I've had this for a couple of years now, but it's formed a big picture. So I'm going to teach you: get seen, get heard, and get paid. Now we're planning. So in your first 90 days, what I'll say to you, and do put this down in your notebook, on your first 90 days, you're going to think to yourself, do I want to focus on getting seen, getting heard, and getting paid? And I'll tell you what each of those entails. So you decide, and then you now decide that this is where my focus is going to be. 90 days is just how many weeks? 12 weeks? 13 weeks? 10 weeks is 70 days plus another 3 weeks. So 13 weeks, just under 13 weeks. So 90 days is just a mere 13 weeks. So in those 13 weeks, are you going to focus on getting seen, getting heard, or getting paid? And for, I would say have a primary focus and then a secondary focus, but you cannot do everything, and you will see again all the pieces that come together, and you realize that you can't do everything, but you can actually get started. So let's go to the board again. Right. So, okay, let me see that. Okay, right. So let's start with get seen. Get seen. Get seen. This is your visibility. Obviously, this comes first. Whatever it is that you're doing, you have to be visible. People have to find you online, one way or the other. Now, the first thing that comes to mind would be, oh, I have to have a website. Now, you don't necessarily have to have a website, but you can be visible in many other ways. So I'm going to give examples of the things, and you can also note down which ones you have, which ones you need, so website, obviously, or landing page, or now you can have a gravatar, you can have your social, my thing is going, social media profiles, what else? And then you can have your branding. So basically, one of the so for this you need now how will I say this now? So the purpose of this is so that you can obviously get that visibility and get that recognition, get that credibility, and the but if you're just getting started, so if you're just getting started, and this is the free one that is free, obviously, your social media profile. So now for the social media profile, I would say if you are making notes, where do I start? If you don't have a social media profile, choose one. How do you choose one? You choose the one where your clients are. So you choose the one where your ideal clients are. There's no point having an Instagram account if your ideal clients or the people that you're looking for to buy from you are on um, Facebook. And there's no point having a product that maybe there's a high end product, trying to sell it on Instagram when it's better for you to sell it on LinkedIn. So you choose your social media profile, and I would always advise choose one main one and one secondary. One secondary. So, all right, primary and secondary. So a gravatar, you just go to gravatar.com, set up an account, put your gravatar, and you would be able to use that to identify yourself all over the web. So it's your globally recognized avatar. That's free. Social media profile is free. Now for the landing page and your website and even your branding, you don't have to look professional right from the outset. But right now, at the moment, um, there's so many ready-made social media graphics that you can get. So this is DK's in her superpower. But basically you're talking about your branding, maybe your colors, your fonts, your style, your brand story, that kind of thing. So that is what you want to think about. So that is the getting seen. Now, the mistake that a lot of people make is that many people stop there. They feel that, if I have a website, everybody is going to come to my website. Or if I go on social media and post something on social media, everybody is going to come, they will like it. If I say something on social media, they will buy the thing, or they will come for my event, or they will do whatever. And it doesn't really work that way, because it now goes again back to people. And one aspect of your people is relationships. So the purpose of your landing page, your social media profile, your websites, whatever, is to give people a way to work with you. So is to connect with people. So find a way for them to come into your world. So one of the things I will always say to a client, I will like, what's going to be the entry point for somebody to work with you? What's going to be the entry point? Are they going to watch a video like what I'm doing now? Are they going to watch a video, then they like you so much, then they go and look for you online, they Google you, then they go on your website, then they see some, so what is their entry point? What's the first, how do people find you, even before you came into the online space? How were people finding you? Or how do people work with you? Do they call you on the phone? Do they come to your office? Do they send you an email? Do they ask for your price list? What is the entry point? Now, this is very important for anybody who is doing anything in the online space. You have to have a way for an entry point. If, for instance, your service, if they come to work with you, is £1,000. Like, for instance, I have a service where I can do your website in 48 hours, and it's £1,000. Now, I cannot just put this out there and say, here's my website, I can do a website for you, it's £1,000, and expect people to just come flooding in. You have to build that know, like, and trust. So that's why I said you can have your website, you can have a beautiful social media, you can have your beauty. Oh yeah, one other thing I didn't add here, headshots. So you can have beautiful photographs, headshots. Now, I'm not knocking any of these things. This is almost like a checklist for you to say, okay, these are the things I need to look at doing or getting done, and having in place. So the ones that you have, wonderful. Check your social media. What's your profile? What does your profile say? What link is on there? What about my pictures? Do I have professional looking pictures, or at least clear looking pictures? What does my website say? Is it clear? That kind of thing. So you would have all those things, but then you need to build that know, like, and trust factor. And that is what your stories will do for you. So, like I said, the mistake that a lot of people make is that they stop here. They say, oh, I just build a website, put my social media, everything is okay. No, this is just your get seen. Now, after your get seen comes the get heard. But let me just go back to this get seen. So one of the things that people, one of the things that you need to have, or one of the keys to being successful in this get seen stage, is that you want to be consistent and you want to be congruent. So if you have a website, the branding of your website, or the look and the language and the tone of your website, should be the same as the look and the language and the tone of everything else that you're putting out there. Your website is like your house, and then the other ones, or are like your branch offices, or your website is like your head office. Then these other ones are like your branch offices. LinkedIn branch, social Instagram branch, Facebook group, blah, blah, blah. But, or if you don't have a website, landing page. Another thing is, depending on your budget, if you do not have a budget for a website, you can still get seen by having a landing page. There's landing page tools out there, and there's even some email service providers that also go with landing pages. You can have something right there to as a beginning place. So now your get heard is okay. So that's it anyway. Consistency. So you're showing up. So you don't create a website where the website you just create it and go away. You have to create it and you have to update it regularly. That's one. So that's the consistency. And same thing with your social media profiles. You cannot go, I mean, I've been to somebody's, you just look for a friend. Maybe I'm thinking of this person. I wonder if they are on Facebook. And then you go and you see that the last time they were on Facebook was September 2016. You don't even bother. Because you can't even say, oh, let me send a message or whatever, because they've not been there. So they're not consistent there, so you can't find them there. So the same thing with you. So two things: consistency, congruency. And then also one other note is you can always outsource these things. So make a note of what it is that you need to do for your visibility. Now, like I said, I'm talking get seen, get heard, get paid. You decide which one you want to focus on for the coming year. And again, like I said, if you would like to have a conversation with me where I could just hear out what you are planning and then maybe give you some input or point you in the right direction, the link is going to be in the chat. So now let's get to the get heard. Now the get heard and the get paid, kind of like they run together. So you're getting heard and then you're also planning to get paid, because the getting heard, let's put it like this, the gets seen, some of the things that you're doing here are once and for all. You've taken, like, there's some pictures that I put out there, God forgive me. Well, okay, let me not be so dramatic. There's some pictures I put out there that I took years ago, and they're like my official, like, okay, like for instance, on this YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube and you can see my avatar, which is actually my gravatar, you will see a picture. Now that picture is a good 4 years old, maybe, but that's my official picture. I put it out. I have that and a few others, so there's some things, like I said, just to say that there's some things that you can do once and for all. Bring out the money, pay a photographer, get somebody to take some nice pictures of you, and you can use them for a year, 2 years, a year and a half, and then you can even take pictures every 3 months, depending on what you are, how you are showing up online, So, so that's the get seen, but the get heard is ongoing. Now, you may have heard me talk about finding your voice online. Now, that is where your voice comes in. When I talk about your voice, I mean like the platform that you're going to show up and you are going to give free, consistent, valuable information. And that platform can be either written like a blog, audible or audio like a podcast, or visual like YouTube. Visual could also, you can also do LinkedIn, other, social media, but the three main ones would be the podcasting, YouTube channel or YouTube videos, or video generally. You can also add even Facebook Live videos. You can have a show on Facebook Live where you show up, like I said, consistent, valuable information, free. So like what I'm doing now is free. I'm not asking you to pay anything, and this is valuable. This is from years of study and from years of work and from years of trial and error and working with my clients and finding what works online, and distilling the best information out there and learning from the best in the industry. So it's valuable. So what you need to then do is decide what your voice is going to be. This is for anybody who is serious about doing anything online, because unfortunately you cannot every time be saying, come and buy my thing, come and buy my thing, come and buy my thing, come for my event, come for my event, come for my event. No, you have to have a voice, because that voice is where you're going to use to tell your stories. And in that voice is where you're going to create the connections. That's where you're going to make people know you, like you, trust you. That's when you're going to make people say, oh, I like that bread bean in her kitchen. I have a bread bean like that. We're going to be best friends. Whatever. Oh, I like that book that I see, oh, I have that book as well, or anything. It could be anything. You never know. People are like that. They find something, they connect to you with that, on that thing, They're like, oh, she likes earrings. I like earrings too. So your voice is very important. So that's the get heard part of your this thing. So let me just write the notes of what you need to look at and choose what you need to work on, because we're talking about your first 90 days. What do you need to work on if you are going to focus on get heard? So there we go. Right. I just love it when I see people doing this, like when you're watching all these things and they just flip the charts. It looks so professional. So anyway, here I am, very professional. So your get heard is your online your online conversations. Yeah. So let me write that. Conversations. So I love storytelling, because you can tell a story that is a story for today, and then you can tell a story that is the continuation of a story, or you can tell part of a story, tell the next part of the story, tell the next part of the story. Or like I said, I just finished watching Scandal, and then I like some of these other exciting soap operas. So in those stories, there's the main storyline, like I always use Blacklist, the Blacklist as an example. You know, the Blacklist is a story of some bad guy who somehow the FBI, or was it CIA, I don't even know. Anyway, one of those agencies got him and sort of recruited him to help this bad guy to help them catch other bad guys. And this guy, I can't remember his name now, asked them, that said he could only work with one particular agent who was like a newbie agent. But anyway, he decided to work with this agent. Why am I telling you this story? Anyway, so it's called the Blacklist. But what's interesting about the Blacklist is that in the story, there's a mystery of why did he choose that particular agent to work with. I mean, every week rather, or every episode, he would help them to find or capture one criminal or one terrorist, you know, because he is also a former criminal and former terrorist and former whatever. So they would use him to capture those people. But then, and then that is one story. But within that story, they're still trying to unravel the mystery. We're still trying to unravel the mystery of, is it his daughter? Is it not his daughter? Who? Maybe she's his daughter. Oh, she's his daughter for sure. Oh, no, she's not. You know, and that kind of thing. And that keeps us listening to the story. So that is the conversation. Those are the kind of conversations that you want to have when you want to bring storytelling into your business. You want to have the stories for the day, and you want to have stories that what will I put it? You stories that continue, or stories that have a continuation, or stories that they want to hear the next bit of it. So like I said to you, oh, I'm going to teach you get seen, get heard, get paid. Now I've taught you get seen. Now I'm about to teach you get heard. If I said to you, oh, the time is finished, I'll teach you get heard tomorrow, you would come tomorrow, because you know you've gotten a part of the story, you've gotten the taste, you are curious, you now want to know, or you know part of it, but you don't know all of it. So you want to find out what is coming next. And that is where the storytelling comes. So anyway, so, right. So we're talking conversations, get heard. We're talking about the thing. Okay. So these are the things that you do to get, in getting heard. And these are, I'll tell you the things that you do in getting heard, and I'll tell you the tools that you use to get heard. Let's do it like that. So, so you're going to have conversations. You're going to create, okay, so have conversations. You're going to create culture. 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 You're going to build relationships. Relationships. You're going to use your voice. So your voice could be either blog, written, or audio, that is podcast, and video. So so the tools that you would use to get heard. So get heard. So the tools that you would use to get heard would be your email, your show, email, your show, your blog, your podcast, serve, give value. Okay, right. So I have all those I've written. There's more, but this is just to give you an idea. Let's see whether we can get the other camera to show it. Okay, so, okay, okay, there we go. Okay, so here we go. I think that's it. Okay, so in the Get Heard, um, basically you want to have conversations. You want to create culture. You want to build relationships. You want to find your voice and use your voice. And you want to serve, you want to give value, and you want to tell stories and create a movement. Now, all these things on under here, the creating of culture, the building of relationships, finding your voice, serving, and all those kind of things, and then also the how to do that would be through your emails, or having a show, like a weekly show. I call it your show in the sense that this is where you show up. You have a particular topic or set of topics that you want to be talking about, and you want to be giving value along those lines. It might be a word of encouragement. It might be some tips. It might be some recipes. You might be sharing some recipes, but maybe you're selling part of the ingredients, or you're selling the pots that they use to cook the food, or you are selling, or that kind of thing. It might be your podcast, you might be webinars, like, or a masterclass like what I'm doing, Facebook lives, Facebook groups. But basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to build those relationships. You're trying to find your voice. You're trying to start sharing your message. So you're sharing who you are, your unique selling points. You are sharing your values. You are actually marketing. Now, the wonderful thing about this is that you can use, if you are starting from scratch, you can also use other people's audiences to do just about everything here. So if you are starting from scratch, you can do joint ventures or guest posting, or you can be a guest on somebody's podcast. You can do a webinar to somebody's audience. You can do a Facebook live where you invite people as your guest, or you are their guest. Same thing with email. So you can actually have conversations and also build relationships by leveraging other people's audiences. That's for if you're starting from scratch and you don't know, oh, where am I going to start? Oh, I have a show. Who is going to listen to my show? So before you even go into the thing of like, oh, should I do an advert or should I boost or whatever, you can actually start by leveraging relationships, and then just start from your circle and, getting people to promote you and that kind of thing. So that's one of the benefits, or that's one of the things that we do in Yellow Pepper Club, where we support each other by cross-promoting each other. If somebody has something that they are releasing, I'm going to post it on my page. I'll post it to my friends. I'll share with my friends. If I need a particular I need a particular service or a particular tool, you can get recommendations and that kind of thing. So yeah, so that is that. Now, the things that you need to watch out for, or the thing that you need to your focus, if you are in the get heard phase, your focus would be on, again, consistency, and then serving, on engagement. Let me write them down for you. Hold on. Okay. Ugh. So our focus is on, let's see. Right, so focus on authenticity. Consistency, generosity. And engagements. Okay, right. Okay, so oh, share that. Let's try it again. Aha. Okay, so I'm going to have to look. Can I lower this? I need I need you to see the whole thing. Okay, let's try that. Aha. This is very important. So your focus is on authenticity. So you want to be authentic. Consistency, you want to show up regularly. Now, consistency is probably one of the most important things. In fact, what I'm saying to you in these 5 things that I'm asking you to focus on are probably one of the things that if you just pick this up and, as my friend would say, put it in your pocket or put it in under your armpits, just pick it up and just grab it and just have that consistency, generosity, engagement, and polarity, and being authentic. This is what is going to make you stand out, and this is what is going to draw people to you. Authenticity, being yourself, being authentic, being on, you're open, you're authentic, you're unapologetic, you are yourself, you are not somebody else. You're not a chameleon, fits in, you're trying to fit into this. When you're when you're in this circle, you look like this, and then when you're in another circle, you look like something else. So you want to be authentic. You want to always show up. So is that consistency as well? So the consistency also, speaking of, we're now talking about time. So if you are going to show up, like we're talking about Get Heard, you have a show, you have a blog, you have a podcast, you want to show up you want to show up at the same time every day, every week, every month. You want to show up consistently. So you're not going to say to yourself, oh, I'm going to post every day, and then you post every day for 7 days, and then after that nobody hears from you. It's better for you to then post only once a week, or once every 2 weeks, or once a month. But whatever the case, whatever you decide on as your cycle, stick to that cycle, and people will know that, okay, every Monday or every first Monday of the month, I know that I'm going to get something from this person. And that is actually better than showing up sporadically. Generosity is one of the big things that I see a lot of people struggle with. And even me, I struggle with it as well. People struggle with it. Some of the things that you learn that are like, it's cost you a lot of money to learn those things, or, you feel that you need to be paid for that kind of information, but Generosity you cannot go wrong with generosity. You cannot go wrong with sharing your best stuff, because the funny thing is that even when you share, even if you give people step by step, and people, and you think, oh, they're going to copy you. Most people cannot copy you because they cannot be you. And then most people cannot duplicate what you're doing. Even if you give them step by step, sometimes they would still need to come to you to give them, to help them to do it. So, but whatever the case, or whatever, generosity is generosity. You're not going to be generous just because people are not going to steal your stuff. You can be generous even knowing that people will steal your stuff, and have that generosity, because it always, in this online space, this is the currency. Generosity is the currency. The people that show up consistently, giving that valuable information for free, taking that time, excuse me, that time, that expense, that inconvenience, whatever, you're sharing your recipes, or you're sharing your knowledge, or you're sharing something to help somebody to use your product better, or you're sharing something to make somebody's life better or their day better. That generosity is is your currency, when it comes to the online space. So a lot of us have things that we've been working on, and you think, oh, one day I'm just going to come up one day and just everybody is going to know about it, on that day, on that wonderful, blessed, faithful day, but you want to also be authentic, in the sense that instead of saying, oh, you want to come out fully formed, you can actually share your journey. I'm in the process of learning this thing. I'm in the process of building this thing. I'm in the process of creating this thing. And I'm telling you and sharing the journey that I might inspire somebody or help somebody along the way, because everybody is always one or two steps ahead of somebody else. Another thing is two other things which a lot of people fail to do. One is engagement. So if somebody engagement basically is just that, engage. If you post something and then somebody likes it, you want to engage with that person. You want to talk back to people when they talk to you. If they leave a comment, you can go and respond to the comment. You need to engage that, and then you need to use that put that into your plan as well. Polarity talks about, and I am going to share next week. I've decided I'm going to do this master class every Sunday till further notice. So next week, I'm going to share about polarizing. And I'm actually going to share a video. I got permission from the person I learned it from to whether I could share the video, which is inside his course. And he talks about it, I mean, better than I could ever describe it. But basically, when you talk about polarity, you're talking about you want to stand for something. So you want to say, this is who I am, and make no apologies about it. Because if you say who you are, those that are going to like you will like you. Those that will not like you will not like you. And that is absolutely, in fact, that you even want that. You want to actually attract people, and you also want to repel some people. You want some people who are not meant to be part of your world to go. So you want to repel as well as attract. And sometimes you do that even intentionally. For instance, if you have a course, maybe you want people to come on your course, or like for instance, our membership, Yellow Pepper Club membership, there's a kind of person that I want to be in as a member. Because if you have somebody who is not going to benefit from it because they are coming with the wrong expectation, then what's the point? So therefore, my messaging has to repel people who would have the wrong expectation, as well as attract people who are ready to do the work, ready to to kind of like have a long-term view, ready to, all the different things that you want people to know about your business, or want the kind of people that you want to work with you. You want people who would trust you, or you want people who would, it depends on what it is that you want, what your goals are. But your polarity would help people to, you would actually help you to attract the people that are meant to work with you, as well as repel the people that don't understand you, they don't get you, they don't feel you, they don't understand you, or they don't know how you work, or they don't trust you, that kind of thing. So that is what that polarity is about. So again, let me just quickly just show you that video one more time. Sorry. So we have authenticity, consistency, generosity, engagement, polarity. And then this is what getting seen, getting heard is about. You want to have a voice online. You want to choose a platform that you're going to use to to what would I say? I was going to say generate your voice. Well, I suppose generate your voice, to use your voice to begin to speak. You need to start. You would create so that the practical things that you would do for this would be, you choose a platform, and then you make a content calendar, and then you make a content schedule. So you say, okay, I'm going to do, like me now, I'm doing a masterclass every Sunday, not 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So I'm going to do a 90-minute masterclass, or a 1 hour masterclass every Sunday for the next 10 weeks or whatever. And then that's my calendar, and these are the topics. So you create your content calendar, you create your, and then you choose your platform. Right now, I would always, there's two things, two platforms that how will I put it? At the moment, what's working now, two things would be video, anything that's video related. So either having a YouTube channel, or going live on Facebook, or going live on Instagram, video is working. Podcasting is also working for specific kind of audience, depending on what your audience is and what your messaging is, but for those two. And then of course there's still blogging. So there's people who love to read blogs, there's people who love to read, listen to podcasts, there's people who like to go on Facebook and watch your live shows, or who like to go on YouTube. So wherever you know your audience to be, that would be where, obviously, where you would, and then also not just where you know your audience, but also what is comfortable for you. Now, I say this carefully, because even though video you might not be comfortable on video, like myself, most people are not. I would say 80% of people are not comfortable on video. As you watch the video, I'm like, oh, God, look at my eyebrows. Oh, look at my white hair. I have white hair here. Look at my white hair. So those kind of things. You're like, oh. But you just have to embrace video. So while most of us are not naturally comfortable on video, by the time you do it a few times and get that practice, you become more and more comfortable with it. Even today, as I was preparing for today, I was still, you still feel those a bit of nerves and everything as the time is getting there. And then once you settle down and sit down and start talking, all those things fly out of the window. So like I said, what's working now, anything that has to do with video. And then also podcasting, if you want to get into that podcasting space, it's quite easy now these days. I did have a guest, Michael Hennessy, on, you could just check the Yellow Pepper Club Facebook page. You would see his interview where he came on an interview to say why now is the best time to start a podcast. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. And but basically, whatever your business is, whether you have a product, whether you have a service, whether you have something that doesn't even have anything to do with, like you might be a hairdresser, or you might be a chef, or whatever, but you can have a show, in quotes, show, some voice, some way that you are showing up every so often to talk to your people, to have a community, to bond with them, to share your life with them, to do life together with them. That's what you're doing. And then in the process, you are building your audience, and you're also building your potential clients, and they would be happy to buy from you, happy to work with you. So we've done get seen, get heard. This is like your whole online business. So it's not like I can teach you your whole online business all in one day. But what I'm just trying to do for you is to help you to have clarity so that you're not overwhelmed, so that okay, this is what I need to concentrate on at this point in time. And then after 2 months, I can concentrate on that, so that you also know that you have all the pieces. When you talk about people and love and stories, you know that you have all the pieces. So I'm going to share with you the get paid. I'm just going to quickly go over that, and then I'm going to go back to the love and the stories, and we will call it a night. But again, I would say if you want to have a conversation with me about your own project, about your own products or your own plans for the year, just use the link. It will be somewhere around this description. I'll put it over everywhere. Use the link to book a call, a 30-minute conversation with me, completely free, no pressure. Yeah, you can do that. Now, right, so we're talking about, so what should we talk about? Should we talk about love first, or should we talk about get paid? The get paid is make money online. Now, a lot of people want to just come online and get paid. It's not impossible, but you have two options. Either you're going to pay to get paid, or you're going to build relationships to get paid. Or you're going to create culture, build relationships. And what I've been talking to you about leans more to the create culture, build relationships to get paid online. But obviously it doesn't have to be. You can fast track some of these things, but basically you still have to have the foundations. You still have to be heard. You still have to be seen. Because that is your visibility and that is your credibility. So the first get seen is your visibility, the get heard is your credibility, and then the get paid is where you actually have your profitability or your profits. Profit is not the word. Prosperity. That's what I want to say. Your prosperity. Profits anyway. Same thing. So now there's many ways to make money online. Many, many ways. And again, the main thing is focus. So this, I think this one probably more than anything, if you are ready to sell, or you want to make money online, or you think you have an idea for a product, definitely use the link and give me, and let's have a conversation, because it's such a vast topic. When you talk about getting paid online, you have you can get paid for your services, you can get paid for your products, you can get paid for your online courses, for consultancy, you can have an e-commerce store, you can have your e-commerce store, you can have your downloadable products, you can have a course that people register, you can have a membership like I do, you can sell books on Kindle, you can do consultancy and you can have an agency, you can have social media services, all kinds of things. You can get paid for any of those and more of those things online. But the get paid online, there's a few things that I would like to talk about, which would generally be selling. Ugh, okay, right. I'm just trying to think how to. I want to deliver this to you in a way that would would be valuable for you. Okay. So so we don't get seen, we don't get heard. Now let's talk get paid. Paid. So we have products and services. So now in the digital, like I said, anything that you are selling, whatever it is that you're doing, whether you are, if you're a doctor, you have a hospital, you are a market person, you have a shop, you can still, you're a hairdresser, you make hair, or you do nails, or you sell from the boot of your car, you can sell online. If you're an author, or you are a consultant, you can sell online. So there's the getting paid for your services. So there's, how will I put it? There's you can have a business which you sell or promote online, and then you can have a business that is online. Being online is actually the business. So the digital is a digital business where you have like downloadable things, online courses, downloadable downloadable files, software, what they call it, software, subscriptions, that kind of thing in the online space. Or you could use you could sell your services or your products that are in the physical space or that you are going to deliver. You can actually use digital marketing to sell them. So I hope you've understood that distinction. So I would say what I would say would be like there's many tools that you can use, but I will talk about three or four that you would are very valuable and probably also what people um, sometimes miss. One of them is email. I'm not saying this because I'm a storyteller and because of email marketing, but email is the unsexy stepbrother of online marketing. It's not as sexy or as it's been around forever. Email is easy. Email is cheap, but a very high percentage of sales that are made online, and I don't have the exact stats now. I think it's like 40% or so of sales that are made online are made via email. When you go to a shop, or if for some reason you give somebody your email address, or for some reason you are able to get somebody to give you their email address, it is very likely that you are able to sell to them over and over again. So that is why email marketing is one tool that you want to pay attention to. So sometimes you might find yourself, you're very popular online, you have thousands of followers and all that, but those thousands of followers, sometimes hundreds of thousands of followers, if you do not have their email address, they are not as valuable to you as, in fact, some people would prefer to have 100 people, or let's say 1,000 people on their email list to tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers that are just people that like your page. So people would prefer to have the email rather than having those hordes and hordes of followers, because the followers does not put money in your account. Email, you are able to communicate. Email, you're able to tell stories. So when it talks about getting, when you're talking about getting paid, because like I said, it's something that you can I mean, if we can talk about it for like the next, I don't know, 30 days, and we still haven't finished talking about it. But getting paid, one thing that you need to do is email. Another thing that you need to do, or another thing that you need to know, is copy. So copywriting, if there's any skill that you should learn, is that you should learn, or that you should take it upon yourself to know a bit more about it, copywriting should be at the top of your list. Copywriting basically is persuasive writing. And when you are writing, when you use copywriting, you are following certain rules. So you don't have to be like a literature guru, expert, creative writer who is very good at writing, or speaks very fluent English and uses big words. That's not what copywriting is about. Copywriting is not about big words or big grammar. Copywriting is about speaking clearly to people, um, speaking to their pain points, speaking in a way that would attract them, that would help them to have the desire for the thing. So creating the desire for the thing, creating the eager want for the thing, creating so that's why they call it, there's a concept again. Let me just write down the third one. Anyway, let me just say it. The third one is direct response marketing. So three things I've said now: direct response marketing, copywriting, and email. So why I was signing up was because I need to write those three things down, because you need to know them. So direct response writing and copywriting and even email, they kind of like work hand in hand, or they overlap one to the other. But basically, direct response marketing is the kind of marketing that works in the online space, in the sense that direct response advertising or marketing is it's a marketing that is done to get, as it says, a direct response. So if I put up an advert, that I want to get a response from that advert. Either I want someone to click something, or to fill a form, or to go to, to do something that I can measure. So something that I can say, oh, 10 people clicked here. Like, I mean, this workshop, I actually did a small Facebook ad, $2 a day or so. I did it for a couple of days. After some time, I saw that, I looked at it and I checked. It had, I can't remember, 700 views, or it had a like impressive number of video views. But I checked the link clicks. I saw the number of people that clicked, and out of the people that clicked, the number of people that joined that signed up to the email list. I saw that the number that clicked and compared to the number that signed up was not good. So I knew that it was not converting. So I've turned off that advert. Now, the point I'm making is, here's an advert that you look at it and you're like, thousands of people have watched my video. No, that's not what you're after. You're after the response. If they don't respond to your advert, then there's something wrong with it. So 3 things I've said. Let me write them down. Email, copywriting, direct response. So I'm going to harp on this direct response marketing, because it's one of those things that kind of drives me crazy. when I see people make the mistake or spend a lot of money to to do something that you can't tell whether it's working or not. You put up an advert, you can't tell whether it's working or not. You make a sale, or rather you put something for sale, or you put um you put your flyer up, and you don't know whether it's working or not. You don't know whether the words that you wrote there in your caption are working or not. So even the thing of you write a caption, the comments, that's a direct response. The comments, the likes, the shares, those are direct response. Obviously, they're not the ones that are going to put money in your pocket, but at least that gives you an idea of what it means when they're talking about direct response. You want somebody to respond. You want to either make an invitation, ask them to click on something, ask them to, and it might be the language that you use, or the offer that you make, or the positioning of the thing that you are talking about, or the premise, or whatever it is, but you have said something or done something that makes them to respond to you. That is the kind of marketing that you want to always have in mind. So the fourth thing is the fourth thing is um two things actually. So one, a lot of people, they're in the online space, but they don't want to sell. They have things to sell, but they don't want to sell. You've not even put it out there to say, oh, come and buy my thing. So that's on the one side. And then on the other side, you want to put something up for sale today, and people have never heard of you before, or you want to put something up for sale and people don't understand what it is that you have to sell. So now we're talking about timing. So I'm talking about timing. And one of the things that people do to mitigate this is that they do what is called a launch. But basically, you want why I'm saying this is because if you want to sell something in December, you should have started planning about it 2 months before or 3 months before. You cannot bring something for sale and say, buy this, unless you're putting it on Amazon and doing adverts, or putting it on eBay and doing adverts, or putting it somewhere and doing adverts and driving traffic to that thing. But basically, if it is something that is not tangible, that you're trying to make people to understand, or you're trying to sell a course or a service or whatever, sometimes you might need to take time to explain what it is, take time to prove to the person that this thing that you're offering matches with who they are and what they want out of life, and make that offer, make them an offer, and then come back and say, oh, this offer is still available, oh, this offer is going away soon, this offer. So basically, you want to talk about, I'm talking about time now. People say they call it launching, that kind of thing. But basically, it is about time. It's about time, planning for somebody to get to know you, planning for somebody to understand you, understand your product, understand how it is what they need, and then also creating that, so getting that interest, taking them from the interest to the desire, taking them from the desire to actually taking action to buy. So that is all I will say about the getting paid. There's tools, there's software, there's techniques, there's tactics, and all that kind of thing. But basically, you have you can do it the paid way, or you can do it the organic way. Whether you're selling in an e-commerce shop, you have things for sale, physical things for sale, or you are selling an online course, or whether you're selling a service, or you have a brick and mortar, or you have a big corporate brand or corporate entity. Email marketing is a big part of it must be a big part of your marketing. Copywriting must be a big part of yours, because copywriting is what is going to help you to communicate with people, as well as persuade people, as well as um what's that word now, as well as drive, or not drive people, but as well as kind of like take people on that journey. So when I say copywriting, I'm going to say copywriting stroke storytelling, because the storytelling does a lot of what copywriting does, and a lot of copywriters also use storytelling as part of their techniques. But basically, storytelling also is a big part of your marketing, because like we said at the beginning, storytelling can be done in, you can tell stories in just about every or any marketing platform, software, tactic, like some people swear by webinars, some people swear by Facebook Live, some people swear by landing pages, lead pages and all those kind of things, or email sequences. Storytelling can be at the center of each and every one of those. So back to the love. So let me just quickly before we I was going to say before we hang up, before we go, let me just quickly share. Darling, 10 more minutes. So before we go, so let me share this the love side. Share. Oh, my Zoom is being so slow. Oh, wow. Come on. Okay, she's not sharing. Oh, what's happening? Okay. Right. Okay. I think again I think it's sharing, but I don't see it though. Where are you? Am I still here? Let's see. This is just craziness. Okay, I'm trying to share, it's not sharing. I'm trying to stop the share and it's not stopping. So, where am I? Okay, I don't know what to do. Mm. This is weird. Okay, I hope you can still hear me because it does still say that it's sharing. So, to recap, what you want to do to create your plan is to choose your platform. So, choose a platform, one that's working for you. You need to uncover your audience, find your audience. You need to find your voice, so that's your niche, plus your audience, plus the conversations that you're having, plus the stories that you're telling. You want to serve people, you want to also promote. So you want to give value, but you also want to promote. And then of course you want to monetize. So for the monetizing thing, it's all about making the offers. Let me just write this. I don't know why this one is so offers. what was the fifth thing I said? Email marketing, copywriting, direct response, making offers. Yeah, time, launch. So basically, for your time, so for anything that you're marketing, just plan the promotion, plan the timing. You might have a great product, but it might not have time to go in front of all the people that need to hear about it. But then if you give yourself time, 2 weeks before, 4 weeks before, 6 weeks before, some people go almost the year before, they're already planning something that's going to be a year in advance. So okay, that's gone. It's just craziness. This is just the craziest. That's craziness. Hello, I think. Something was telling me that the call was still going on. Let's see whether I can share what I was trying to share. Well, if you're still there, this is what I wanted to share. My thing has been glitchy. So I wanted to share the love side of people love stories. We've talked about the stories. We've talked about we talked about people, finding your people, right? So let's just have a quick go through the love side, just some notes I made, which I think would be valuable to you. And basically, if you think of one of the main reasons why you need to think of the way you're relating to your clients as love, because that way you are putting the client first, or putting your customers first. So your business is not about your product. Your business is not about your services. Your business is actually about your clients. No customer, no business. So your business is not about what you're selling, that thing you're selling. That's not what makes your business. What makes your business is the people that you are serving. So that's why you love is kind of like the central thing. It's about the people that you're serving. It's about the exchange, the relationship, the love. So that if you marry somebody, marriage is based on love. And let me say, if you marry somebody, well, when you marry somebody, there's love, there's the exchange. You're getting something out of this, and they're getting something out of it. So there's that love. So love is that exchange as well, that exchange of value. So you're leading everything that you're doing with value. You are showing up for your people consistently. You are sharing their values. That is the love. Your content, your engagement, you're showing up for them, you're serving them, you're giving value to them. That is the love side of your people love stories. So there's a saying that it says, I didn't finish writing it here, but it says, if you help enough people, I think it's Zig Ziglar that said it, that you can get anything that you want out of life if you help enough people get what they want. Or if you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. So the more people that you help, the more you are helping yourself. That's just it. So if you look at it that way, if I can help enough people to get what they want, then I will get what I want in terms of building my business. Love is about helping them get what they want so that you can get what you want. Love is about showing up for them consistently. Love is about loving the client that you're serving more than you love this product or the service or the Coca-Cola or the Biro or whatever it is that you're say, this is the best recipe, the best. No, it's not about your product, and it's not about you either. Your business is about your client. So hello, I think. You're right. So let me. Something was telling me that the call was still going on. So that I can share what I was trying to share. Okay. What's going on here? Well, if you're still there, this is okay. Right. So let's continue. So so love is generosity. Love is giving value. We've talked about all these things. Another important thing about love is pricing as well. Pricing is an act of love. Setting a good price or setting the right price is an act of love, because sometimes if you don't price your things properly, people will not see the value of what they are getting. If you don't price properly, people will not, you don't give people the opportunity to invest in themselves. And if they don't invest in themselves, they will not do the work that they need to do to get the result that you're trying to get for them. If somebody gets something for free, they don't value it. As they say, there's a saying that says, if they pay attention. And it is so true. I've seen it in myself. I've seen it where I've paid very little for really valuable information, but somehow I could not get myself to engage with it. But then I've also seen where you pay a lot of money for something and you make sure you show up for every single class and do every single homework and just follow it to the very end. So that's what we're talking about. Love, setting a good price that would help people to pay attention, is actually an act of love. So you have the generosity, you have giving value, you're not holding back, you know, you're the prices that you're setting, the finding out what they need, again, is an act of love. So find out what they need, asking, surveys, getting feedbacks, getting testimonials. You're actually, trying to get something that will help, get some information that will help you serve them better. So that is love. So knowing that your business is about your customer and not about you, that is love. So loving your clients more than you love your products or love your service or love yourself is one of the that's about the love. So you have the people, find your people, know your people, love your people, and in all these different ways that I've just said to you. And then stories, tell your stories. Use your story, because your stories are going to be the assets that you're going to use to create that culture, to get people to know, like, and trust you, to get people to to welcome people into your world, to get people to keep coming back, to remain memorable, to remain top of mind of people. Is the stories that you're telling about. You're telling their stories, you're telling your stories, you're telling the stories of the product, you're telling the success stories of the people who have used the product, you're telling the stories that make them know that you understand their pain. You're telling the stories of to give them hope. You're telling the stories to encourage them. You're telling the stories even just to make their day better. You're telling the everyday stories, things of like, oh, I was eating this, or I all those things are ways that you connect with people. You connect with people. So anyway, so that is us for today. For now, I think the main thing I would like you to do, because I was thinking, oh, should I'm planning is to teach a story, how to sell with stories workshop early next year. And the details of that would come, shortly. I'll put them somewhere or I'll announce them at some point. But for now, I would say what I would like is for us to continue this conversation. If you've enjoyed this and you think you have something that you have in mind and you just want to, you have something in mind and you want to share, you want to kind of like brainstorm it with me. That's I'm sharing the link to my calendar. You can book a 30-minute slot. I have certain slots on certain days in the mornings or in the evening. Just book 30 minutes, it will come through to me. We'll get on a call together and we'll just talk about what your project is or what your product is or what you're planning, and if you're open, I'll be able to point you in the right direction. At least if you want to know, oh, what do I do first or what do I do next? Yeah, I'm open to sharing with you. So I think that is it for today. I hope this has been valuable for those of you that were able to stay till the end. I know it's been a long one, but thank you so much for attending. I will leave the link on the Yellow Pepper Club inside the group, on my personal profile, and on my Story Advantage page, and also on this YouTube chat. So somewhere you will find the link to book a call with me, and then we can talk some more. Right. So have a good evening. Have a wonderful Christmas. Try and cook something or bake something. The next time I'm coming online, I'm going to be actually showing you some things that I'm cooking or baking or something. I want to do some baking because that's what I like to do. So that will be just for fun. So we will see you. I will see you soon, and have a wonderful evening. Have a good Christmas, and talk to you next week, Sunday at 5 o'clock. Bye-bye.